What up, Bandidos? What's going on? It's Friday night, Tux Live, and I got another one for you. Two today. Here we go. What's up? What's up? But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, well, first let me tell you what we're going to get into. We are going to do Battle of the Healers this evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are chiming in from. Battle of the Healers. So I'm going to show you basically an old school healer build, and put it up against the future initiative set to determine which one is the way to go. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's just make sure I am coming in loud and clear. So if we could just get that little, you know the dealio, the little hashtag Tux Live, I would appreciate that. That just lets me know that my audio is working. And thank you, Typhoon, I appreciate that. And then let's see who else is in the chat with us. Mike, Jay Morris. Hey, Jay Morris, I'm glad you're in on this one, man. I hope you caught that live stream we did the other day. That one was just for you. Fat Cat, what's up? Good to see you back. Rukin. Fat Cat, I think Pepsi and a bong sounds good to me. Cigar and beer also sounds pretty good. Or all four. Typhoon, sup, Veiling Power, what's going on? Good to see everybody back. Montez. I've decided it's Montez. Appreciate you guys. So, a little housekeeping as we do. First off, make sure you hit the like on the stream. Follow me. If you're at Twitch side of things, subscribe if you have it on YouTube. Danny Norman, welcome. And yeah, also this morning I did a live stream on the Wingman. It's sort of a secondary Wingman build. So this is it was like a Wingman part 2. If you guys remember the ultimate Wingman build that I did a little ways back, where I basically put together a build that helps keep your team alive for legendary gameplay, and it's like real active and a lot of fun. And that was this morning's build. So you should check that one out. The link to that live stream is in the description area of this live stream if you're watching on YouTube. So check that out. So we are dual streaming now at the moment, and we will be doing that for a little ways, streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. So we do have two communities that are chiming in right now. So appreciate everybody who's coming in from whatever platform you are on. I appreciate that. And so also for those of you that are on the YouTube side of things, I invite you to follow me on Twitch if you get the chance to do that. So I'm going to drop a link here in the feed, so when you get a second, you can head over there and hit that little fatty follow button if you have a Twitch account. But okay, so without further ado, let me show you what we got going on here. Okay, so this is my little guy, you know what he does. So what's up, Tux? What up? So healer builds, okay. So just like in this morning's live stream, I was talking about how I think that basically healer builds are a little on the OP side of things, overpowered side of things, and except for raids, right? But what I was saying is this morning and in other conversations is that healer builds are stronger than they really need to be, and so and that's why I came up with the ultimate wingman builds. And that's because, sorry, I gotta adjust my camera here real quick. And that's because the devs gave us some gear pieces that bring their own level of survivability to them, and a lot of people roll with those on their builds. And what I'm talking about are things like Bellstone, right? That comes with armor regen and armor on kill, and then there's Hunter's Fury and system corruption and stuff like that. And so people have those builds, right? Or they're rolling armor regen and armor on kill on their builds. And so a healer on top of that is obviously have some redundancy. Now, if the thing about the reason why it works so well for raids is because you tend to coordinate better when you're raiding, right? So people say, okay, I'll be the healer, everybody else go DPS, and we got the tank guy, right? And so, but for legendary or when you're grouping up matchmaking and stuff like that, it's not so smooth. You just kind of like, you get what you get. And I got some gameplay footage and I can show you exactly what I mean in a second. But I got two builds for you today, okay? One is what I'm calling the old school healer build, and that's what you have here. And it's actually it's sort of a modified old school healer build because we do have some other pieces that we can use now that weren't available back then that I'm utilizing. So this thing is sort of a beast, but let's just go look at the heals, okay? So the base heals, listen to me, the base heals, right? Because there's things that are gonna drive these heal numbers up. But the base heals on this is almost 1.7 million. You see the ally repair, okay? So we got 9 rounds of basically 1.7 million. So that's really strong, and that's the base heals. And then there's a repair over time of 330 heals per second, okay? 330,000 heals per second. So that's the chem. And then if we look at this little beast here, this is healing at basically 500,000 heals per drone. All right, so both of these are 6 skill tier. We're using all of our 6 skill tier. So, but that's the base, okay? And what I mean by that is that we got perks. We're gonna buff that heals even more. So remember, 1.6, let's round that up to 1.7 million. And then kinetic momentum is gonna give us 30% more skill repair on top of that. 30% more, that's huge. So that right there pushes us to 2 million per chem. And that's on impact, right? But there's still the heal over time from the chem. So 2 million. And then while we're at full armor, because of safeguard here, the talent, we're gonna get another 100% skill repair on top of that. So yeah. So that puts us quite a bit, you know, higher. And then we got reformation. So I like running it on the Marine Super 90 actually. I'll tell you why, but reformation gives us another 30% skill repair on top of that. And so I like running it with the Super 90 because when you just a single pellet that touches an enemy's head will activate reformation. So it's really easy. It's easier with the shotgun than with a sniper because the enemy's always moving, and if you miss your shot, then you got to take another one. You know how that goes. So basically there's that. And then on top of that, then we're gonna put that bad boy on overcharge when we detonate our hive. So, which is gonna put, and it's also gonna give our allies overcharge as well. But when we're in overcharge, then we're gonna get another, we get a crazy radius duration, and then basically 20% more heals per chem. So that's when we go in overcharge mode. So I can't even, to tell you the truth, I can't even calculate what that number is gonna be in the end because there's a lot of variables to it. But either way, it's really, really strong. So now you can go kinetic momentum, but I should say, and that's what I choose. I think if you're gonna be a healer, you go strong with the heals, and that's what I did here. But again, like I mentioned earlier, you know, healer builds are overpowered, but this is suitable for legendary as well as raids. This would be good for raids. But what I wanted to show you is chest talents. Yeah. So you can also use Overwatch if you wanted to, because you're pretty much staying in cover. And so you can buff weapon and skill damage to your enemies. But empathetic resolve. So repairing an ally increases their total weapon and skill damage by basically 15% because we're at full skill tiers for 20 seconds. So every time you heal them, you give them 50% weapon and skill damage buff. So you could go that route too, but I decided to go kinetic momentum for 30% more heals. 30% more heals, that's a lot. That's a lot. So you can give your team 15% more damage or your heals 30% more. So I like staying true to the concept, and that's why I chose kinetic momentum, to be a true healer. So notice the chest piece is skill haste, repair skills all filled out there. We got kinetic momentum, and I'm running one piece of Alps Summit, all right? So the gloves are obviously the BTSU gloves. And this is because we want to detonate our hive and go on overcharge as much as we can to help our team. And then Murakami on the backpack, so that gives us more skill duration. Skill duration is really good on healer builds, guys. So skill duration is going to help your hive stay out longer, so you can drop your hive and leave it out there without worrying about it expiring before you run out of heals. And then also that actually works for your not the oxidizer, but the chem, the healer chem. So duration will keep that green cloud sticking around longer, which means it'll heal your enemy I'm sorry, you'll heal your allies more over time, or if they're not near the circle and they need to run into it later, like a couple of seconds after you launched it, then it'll still heal them nicely. So skill duration is actually really good for the chem. I really like it. It's actually really important for that chem. Otherwise, you end up wasting chems a lot because they disappear faster than you want them to. So anyway, skill duration goes a long ways for your chem. So put it in there. But otherwise, I guess more skill haste and repair skills. Now for the mask, so this wouldn't have been available for the old school back in the day healers. So again, this healer build is what we used to run. We used to run things similar to this before Future Initiative was given to us. And so Future Initiative, of course, is a 4-piece healer gear set, and then the backpack and chest are locked behind arrays, but we're going to get into that in a second. So the chill out mask is actually a really good option. Now you could run Hannah U here as well, and if you run Hannah U, you'll get it'll give you skill haste. But if you don't want skill haste, then the chill out mask is a nice alternative. So it came with repair skills, and I rolled on the skill tier, and then I doubled up my repair skills. So this is basically like running 2 pieces of Alp Summit. So Alp's on my chest here. You can see, notice I got 60% repair skills there, and then I got 60% repair skills here, basically. So does that make sense? Cool. Free laid facials, pretty dope. It's empathetic resolve stronger than kinetic momentum. No, good question though. Free lead, sorry. They're just different. So it's up to you. If you want to give more heals, if you want to have the strongest healer build in the game, then you need to go kinetic momentum. If you want to buff your team's damage with a skill, with a talent that synergizes with heals, because you have to heal them to buff them, then go with empathetic resolve. So it's just preference. But for me, I decided that I wanted to go stronger heals. I wanted to make this the strongest healer build in the game, basically, is what I wanted to do. And then put it up against Future, and we're going to do that to see which one is actually better. All right? So, and then for the other pieces, I went improvised. So I got improvised with repair skills and skill haste. So it's basically like running another Alp Summit, basically. That's basically another Alp Summit. And then the knee pads are the same thing, another Alp Summit piece, basically. But these are improvised. So I crafted these. I use them a lot. So I actually use these for my status, my max blind build. So it's the same piece. So, that's why I say improvised gear is really handy, because all I had to do is reroll the status effects to repair skills, and all of a sudden I got some medic knee pads. So, yeah, that's it. And then I'm just using the swap chain as my secondary, and my pistol is the card, but I'm not using it at all. So, you do want to run survivalist. So survivalist is good for your healer builds, especially if you're going all 6 skill tiers. If you're not going all 6 skill tiers, then you need to run technician so you can pick up that skill tier. But if you look here, you're going to give a 15% increase outgoing healing. So that's going to happen in addition to all those numbers that I talked about, right? And then you get some 10% protection from elites as well. Armor kits now repair over 5 seconds instead of instantly, but it also repairs your group meters. Your teammates within 20 meters. And then if you want a hands-off skill, then you can use the Mender Seeker, but the chems and the stuff we got going is a lot stronger. So yeah, so I'm not intending to be a damage dealer here, but that sort of just depends on what team you're running with and whether you're forced to fight or heal. But we get into a really interesting battle here. But yeah. So quick reminder: hit that like, subscribe if you haven't, and if you're on Twitch, then hit that follow button. But okay, so that's the heals, and you'll see this in action. That's the old school healer build. Now let's take a look at the Future Initiative one. Okay, so Future Initiative. So here's the Future Initiative version. So here, this is what's tough about the Future Initiative build, okay? So the best Future Initiative build, especially for raids, but the best one, or the best healer build in general, let's just say that flat out, the best in slot for a healer build is the BTSU gloves, right? Because you want to be able to detonate your hive and put your everything, all your skills on overcharge, but also your teammates. Now that's important, especially for raids, because you want to what do you say? Restore people's revive hives. You know, so if they or refresh people's revive hives. That's the wording. So when people use the revive hives, you need to put them on overcharge so that you can refresh them for them, and that's important in the raids. And so that's why the BTSU gloves are basically mandatory for raid builds, healer builds. But anyways, that aside, the BTSU gloves are best in slot for any healer build, whatever direction you go. So that poses a challenge. So if you're gonna run a future initiative healer build, and you know that the BTS gloves are best in slot, then that means you would have to have done the Iron Horse raid in order to get the chest piece. Now, we don't normally run the backpack, the feature initiative backpack, because we don't really like the talent that it gives us. So this is the way you run a future initiative build. You put 4 pieces on, but one of those has to be the chest piece. So let's take a look at it. So by running 2 pieces of future initiative, you get 30% repair skills. The third piece gives you skill, haste, and duration. And then when you're running the full set, you get ground control, which increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15%. That's just like empathetic resolve that we were talking about earlier. Except the twist to it is that when you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but that basically makes your heals more efficient, because I can squirt you with a chem, or you can take a healer drone, and then the guy next to me gets healed, but it didn't cost me any actual heals to do that. He just received 60% of that. So that basically makes your heals stronger, right? By passively healing somebody else in your team. It makes your healers go, I wouldn't say stronger, I should say further. It makes them last longer. What's going on, Bugnazde? I'm gonna say that right. Bugnazde. That's a funny name, man. It's a boogie. It's like saying boog nasty. I like that. So yeah, so that's future initiative. So basically, so I got repair skills and everywhere. You could also put skill haste if you want. So for the backpack, we're basically running the same thing. So now we got Alps on the backpack for that 20% repair skills. And then I got a repair skills mod on here, and then we're consistent with safeguards. Safeguards are really strong, 100% repair, more skill repair when you got full armor, and which you're always gonna have because you're basically standing in your own heals, right? So you're always gonna be at full armor, and then your team is always gonna get the extra 100% skill repair because of that. Now I got weapon handling here. That's just because that was what was on the backpack, so I stuck with it. I didn't have a choice. And then more repair skills on the knees, the holsters, repair skills, and then the chest piece. Now the chest piece has got double repair skills. Of course, I got repair skills mod. So, and then it comes with the talent, which is called tactical superiority, which increases ground control damage from 15% to 25%. So that's why people like feature initiative, because it's like empathetic resolve, right? Except it's instead of 15%, it's 25%. And then on top of that, again, you're getting that passive healing where you're healing other allies by 60% of the heal amount to your target heal. So, yeah, good reply, Matthew Erickson. Empathetic resolve and kinetic momentum are separate things. They do different things completely, and so it's up to you. But for future initiative and empathetic resolve are sort of an apples to apples type comparison. And you would say that future initiative's version of empathetic resolve is better. It is better. You're getting 25% more damage because you're running the chest piece. 10% more damage because you're running the chest piece, for a total of 25% damage for skills and weapon damage, but also that passive healing, which is going to make the heals go a long ways. But if we look here, the heals here are 1.539, where the other one was 1.7 before buffs. And then this is 456. I can't remember what the other one was, but it's lower. So, and then the other one had kinetic momentum, which is giving this another 30% buff. Both of them have the same backpack talent. Both of them are doing the overcharge, and then both of them have the 30% from the shotgun reformation, and then we're running for the same specialization for 15% more outbound healing. So really it comes down to a couple of things, okay guys? One is extra slots, okay? Extra slots. So the old school healer build has extra attribute space for you, right? And so by using those, what we're basically doing with those is getting more skill haste out of it for the most part, and more repair skills out of it, you know, by you having those extra slots. And then because we were able to have the flexibility to choose a different talent, we're also going to have stronger heals because of that, direct heals because of kinetic momentum. So overall, this build is healing stronger, even with the passive healing on Future Initiative, because this one has an extra 30% coming from kinetic momentum, which is a lot, to both heals all the time, right? So, and then we got more slots that we're utilizing as well, which is why, and what I've done with those is dedicated those to repair skills instead of things like skill duration, but you could also go that route. So that's the big difference there. So like, let's compare it with this one. So you see what I'm saying? So Future Initiative, the set comes with the brand set bonuses, but it's still just like any gear set, doesn't make up for all the missing slots. You're usually the trade-off for the missing slots is when you use a gear set, you're saying, I'm willing to use those missing slots for something unique, right? And the thing about Future Initiative, what's unique about it isn't the strong heals. It's not. That's deceiving. Also, it's not because of ground control. That's not unique, although it's a little bit stronger than Empathetic Resolve by 10%. That little bit amount is helpful. But the unique part that you're losing all of your attributes for is the last paragraph in ground control. And so that's the part you need to ask yourself, is it worth it? And most people say no. And the reason why, what I mean by that, how you know they say no, is because they don't run the backpack. The backpack makes that unique part of the talent stronger, and nobody runs the backpack because Safeguard ends up being stronger. So Safeguard is doing so much work that second part of ground control, most people don't care about. So when you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired by 60% of that amount. So that's the thing. You know how close 5 meters is? It's basically between here and those buttons, you know? And so that's why it doesn't really kick in that much. You basically all have to be in a really tight circle. So and that's what makes it situational. That's what makes it situational. So let's kick off the party. Let's kick off the gameplay. Okay, so this is interesting. Let me tell you what's going on here, okay? So I random jumped in on this team, and they were already in the fight. But look at where they're fighting from, and look at how they're playing. And I don't want to dog on this team, so this squad. So if that's you, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. But in my opinion, they're playing it all wrong, and I don't think they know each other or anything like that either. Probably I think everybody is a random match here, no comms or anything. But it's messy. First of all, the deeper you play in Legendary, the more difficult it is for you. And look at them. They're all spread out and they're playing as deep as possible. That's a bad strategy for Legendary. That's really bad because you're going to basically run out of ammo before you can even clear the first wave. And so I come in and basically I have a difficult time. The first thing I have to do is pick somebody up, and then I have to heal these guys, but they're all spread out. So, you know, nobody's in my healer hive, and I'm trying to encourage them to push forward by saying, hey, look, I got your heals. Let's do that, right? So what ends up being interesting about this, and this is why I want to use this gameplay footage, is because if there was ever a team that needed a healer on their squad, it is this squad right here. Okay, it was a really, really painful and to watch them, and then I mean to kind of get in on the squad and see how like interesting their approach was to playing Legendary. Like, so everybody's down now, so we gotta get everybody up. And this thing just started, right? So, and it all kind of makes sense as I kind of get into the fight a little bit more. I started looking at their builds. I'm like, now I get why things aren't going really well. The builds, everybody's builds are really funky. They're all funky builds that don't make sense. Like Timido. And again, not picking anybody, but this is a sort of part of the pain here. You know, he's only level 200, which is brave to do legendaries level 200, but doesn't mean you can't do them. But you know, he's running a vector with preservation, and he's playing at sniper ranges, right? He's playing all the way back here with a vector, and the talent on the vector is preservation, which gives you armor on kill, right? So vectors don't do well at range. They're an SMG. They do really good at like 15 meters. So playing all the way back here doesn't make any sense, right? And then the other guy's a skill build, and it's he's got an oxidizer build. It's all built around the oxidizer, so that's not really helpful at all. And then the other guy, I can't remember what his build is, but we'll see it in a minute. But the builds are all over the place, and they're playing separated and all the way in the back. And so what I'm trying to do, so the reason why I push up here is I'm like, come on guys, come join me. Here's my heals. Let's get comfortable. You know, like some people, it's important that you know how to play with the healer. I guess that's my point. I'm not picking on these guys, but it's important that you know how to play with the healer. When you have a healer, full-on healer, like I am, then you need to be playing in my hive circle. That's your zone. And if you're gonna push forward, that's okay. I'm gonna cover your back with my chems, right? And I'm gonna try to move my hive forward with the team too, right? So that's one important thing about playing with the healer. You need to play in his zone. Also, if a teammate goes down, let the healer pick him up, unless you have a tank on your team also. So it's also a mistake because I'm not a damage dealer, really, right? I'm a healer. So when somebody goes down, what's frustrating is when the other teammates goes to get that guy up, and it's like, hey, you know, you're leaving me to put out DPS, and that's not my role. So keep that in mind when you're using healers. But anyways, the good news is this is a good demonstration for the healer build because, boy, these boys suck up some serious heals. I mean, they probably suck up the heals like a 16-man team because of the way that they're playing, right? So it was definitely a challenge. I found myself having to be the aggressive player because I think they were not comfortable with doing legendaries very much. So, yeah. And so basically we only have one turret out there. The other guy's a chem. The oxidizer, that kind of makes it tough. Free lead says I run into teams like this all the time. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating. It was kind of frustrating because it was like, oh wow, this is painful. It's a little bit painful, and I'm not picky. You know, I like playing with new players all the time. I do. I really do. So it's not that, but it was just kind of like maybe like a perfect storm of a team, right? Because the leader is a new guy. And that's kind of frustrating because you're like, okay, so we got this level 200 leading the raid, and he doesn't know what he's doing. But I'm cool with that. But but with everything else stacking on top of it, like everybody's builds are funky, and you'll see the builds. I started looking at the builds, not quite yet, but I started realizing like these guys aren't killing anybody. I'm putting out so many shots, nobody's dying. I got all these heals. All I'm doing is going around and picking these guys up. What's going on? He's level 2,000. The other one's level 1,000. They got their watches. Why can't they kill these guys with all the heals that I'm giving them, right? I mean, these are crazy heals. And so, but do you see what's going on there? Like, this guy's in the crow's nest. That's a horrible place to be. Worst place to be is in that crow's nest. That is a big no-no, and I think you all have tried it, right? We've all tried going into that crow's nest up there. It makes you a huge target to snipers. It makes you a target to grenadiers. It's the worst place to be on this legendary, isn't that crow's nest? If you don't know that, now you do. Now you do. But don't go up there. Don't go up in that crow's nest. That's a horrible place to be. Thanks, Anthony DeMar. Hit the like right now. What up, Wick the Swede? Hey, appreciate you, bro. Hey, Tux, 2 in 1 day. Hardest working content creator on YouTube. Yup. Busting the sweat, brother. I just got some good things. Actually, you know, I was excited to... you know, I'm excited to get hooked up with the night team. I'm calling you guys the mop-up crew. So last night I did a night stream too. So technically yesterday I did 2 streams as well. But the one I did at night was actually a test stream. And all the homies came in and just kind of started kicking it with me as I was testing live stream technology. And you know, it was just a really nice casual stream, and it was just really cool to talk to everybody, and we had some really good conversations. But it made me realize that I need to do more night streams so that I can get to the night crew, the mop-up crew, because it's a different set of people also that join us at this hour. Some of the same, sometimes different, just depends on what time it is exactly. Dave Cortez says, watch level does not mean knowledgeable player. That is very true. That's very true. Also, for more than one reason, right? For more than one reason. Also because some people leave and then come back and then they kind of forget everything. So a lot of people have done that. You know. Hey, notice the little cross symbol. The little cross symbol, the little medic symbol, the orange one there. And so I'm proccing that with my shotgun. So just keep an eye on that because I want you guys to realize how easy it is to get with the shotgun. And there's no cooldown on it also, which is cool, which is also why I like it. So here's what I mean. Like, so as a healer, you really shouldn't be playing forward. I'm playing forward because these guys weren't making it happen. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up there and do this. But as a healer, you really shouldn't be doing this, okay? So you shouldn't be out there trying to clean up. But I was just kind of getting frustrated with how long it was taking them to kill these guys. We need to move on. We wiped on the checkpoint, at that first checkpoint, right? So it took us 2 tries to get through that. So, and yeah, so. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Dave, which is it doesn't mean. Just means that they play a lot. It doesn't even mean they play a lot, right? Because, I mean, this game isn't exactly brand new, right? So, you know, 2,000 isn't actually a lot if you think about it. But yeah, I know what you mean. I agree with you 100%. But it is deceiving sometimes. Yeah, it is deceiving, and that's when I start. In a couple of minutes, this is when I start realizing that they don't have the builds. Because I'm like, man, why? Oh, and the other thing, okay, this is also what I want you guys to pay attention to. Okay, level 200, Mr. Timido, he's the leader of this. This is his map. This is his legendary. And notice he's got special ammo. That's also why the team is struggling, okay? Notice the special ammo directive on legendary. I'm up for a challenge, don't get me wrong. But, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it'd also be nice if you had the builds to go along with it. But yeah, so he's level 200. He's leading the legendary, and then he also put on special ammo, and that's hard on legendary. I mean, that's like probably like the worst directive, right? It's the worst directive there. I mean, that's him right there that went down, right? Standing there. Did you see him standing there? And of course, one shot of that special ammo is going to take you out. But so that's why I'm saying, like, this team sucks up heals like a 16-man team. More than a raid group would use. They're using so many heals. And the reason why is because they're having a hard time killing them. So the enemies are staying alive longer than they should. And that's why they're using so much heals. They're actually putting a healer build to the test. And some of that's, a lot of that's because of the special ammo. I mean, if we didn't have that special ammo, you can get hit by one bullet from that special ammo and it takes you out. And that's why the heals are working so hard, is because one shot from that special ammo will clear all of your armor. Agent Taco, what's going on, brother? How's it going and what's going on in chat? Welcome another stream. Good to see you back. And thank you for joining Hardcore Bandidos. What's up? All right, shout out to Taco. Agent Taquito, I appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you. And by that, which reminds me, because you are now a Hardcore Bandito, you now get access to the digital downloads. And that one just launched this morning. I just dropped a brand new digital download. And so what it is a gamer playlist, music playlist that you can stream and download. It's available to stream on YouTube, and it's available to stream and download on SoundCloud. So both of those, you can get access to it. You can find it by just by going to my homepage, my YouTube homepage, that is. And there's a members only playlist right at the top. And it should be the video that was published this morning. So I really appreciate you, Agent Taco, for supporting me. Or did you just join the Hardcore Banditos, or were you in the hardcore for a while? Actually, I think you've been in the hardcore group for a while, right? Thought you were. You might just be using your super chat there. Sorry if I got that confused. Appreciate you. Also, guys, don't forget about the classified build that I just dropped on Tuesday. That one's hot. Use it while it's hot. It's called the Red Foundry, and it's got amazing time to kill, amazing time to heal, the best out there. So it's definitely a top tier build. You need to run it. A lot of fun. And if you guys didn't know, classified builds are secret builds made just for Tux's Players Club, and you know who's in the Players Club because they got that cool little skull next to their name. And these are extra builds I make as a thank you for supporting me in the channel. So if you want to tap into these, and if you want to support the cause at the same time, you can get access today by joining Texas Players Club. Grab that link. Latina dropped the link for us, so appreciate you, Latina. I'm gonna do that too, Fat Cat. Actually, I've been thinking about that. I just need to. My problem is, so Fat Cat is saying over at YouTube that he recalls Marco Styles trying a legendary build with all purple gear, and I'm gonna do that. I mean, basically, what you're gonna lose is armor, right? That's all you're gonna do is lose armor. But you guys hear me say, like, armor doesn't really matter, right? In this game, armor comes and goes. It's all about your heals. So I'm gonna, but I want to do that too. My problem is, the reason why I haven't is because, you know, stash issues, right? Like, I have only so much space in my stash and in my inventory, so collecting all that, you know, purple gear, I mean, I literally only have enough space to farm for the day, right? For the build that I'm actually working on. Look at this, guys. Look at this. You see that? That's messy. The healer is the last one alive. And so that's what I'm talking. Did you guys see what just happened there? I'm sorry, I was talking. Let me flip that back. But this is what I'm talking about. I was like, this team was incredible. Incredible. Okay, so actually, let me go back a little bit further. Okay, here we go. So we're standing here forever, by the way. And then once you finally go in, nobody goes in. But watch. So I'm up here doing my job. This guy basically dies next to me. But check this out. Two of the guys never come in defense. And they die, and they don't even come in defense. So watch, I turn around and they're dead. Look. They're back there dead. How did they die? How did they die back there? Did they kill themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the tip of the spear, and I was the last one alive, and I was the tip of the spear. You know? And so that's what I'm talking about, man. It's just like, what were they? You can't play like that in Legendary. What I mean, play like that is like sitting back. You got it, Agent Taco. He says, thank you for the amazing in-depth content. Keep it up, bro. You got it, man. So again, I just joined this group. We're only 15 minutes into the together, and we've already wiped twice. You know, and so I'm just like, okay, but I'm kind of getting a kick out of it because I'm like, these guys are interesting. So now I'm gonna flip over to Future Perfect, and the reason why is because their builds are not where they need to be, and so Future Perfect, I'm sorry, Future Initiative. I don't know why I keep saying Future Perfect. Future Initiative is going to give them power, but look at where they're playing. So this is newbie mistakes right here. Look at Timido back there, all the way in the back. That's a mistake. Ghost Dog over to the right, like, and this guy's back in his crow's nest. And that's what I'm showing you here by panning. I was like, look at these guys. This is a horrible position. I mean, Ghost Dog isn't super bad. He's not that bad. But I'm trying to be like, play up front forward, be like, hey, the heels are up here. What are you guys doing all the way back there, you know? And then that guy throws out. Can anybody tell me what the problem with putting out the shock traps there is? Does anybody know? Well, I'll tell you. Shock traps don't make any sense. And the reason why is because the enemies never go push up on us. The only thing that pushes up on us is the tanks. So NPCs, Chungas, they can never go past their little, you know, that little front area, right? And so the shock traps don't really make any sense there at all. You're better off with like an EMP sticky, or, you know, to take out the tanks, because they're the only threat, right? Or a turret. Give me a freaking turret. I would love a turret up there, you know? I sound like a whining biatch right now, don't I? But I was just sort of getting a kick out of it, because it's just like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm really not complaining, but I was kind of getting a kick out of it because I was just like, wow, everything that could go wrong is absolutely going wrong with this team. So I was thinking in my head, like, this is the perfect healer build situation, because if there's ever a team that needs heals, it is this team. And so I'm basically carrying them, right? The healer is carrying them in a way, right? Because they don't have the DPS or the strategy, they don't have the right strategies. So basically, they're taking on more damage than they need to. So, if you've ever thought about putting traps at the entrance of District Union Arena, don't. It's a waste. It's a waste. Nobody's gonna step in there. Now, there are 3 rushes that go through here, but they're not really a problem. They're not supposed to be, at least. But, so that Mr. Crow's Nest keeps dying. He dies like 3 times back to back. He just won't get out of that Crow's Nest. You would think that, but these are lessons that I hope you guys pick up on, man. Like, if you're in a spot and you keep dying there, then move, man. All right, move. You know? But, and then what's also annoying is the other guy goes to get him up, right? Goes to save him. And it's like, and then he goes down. You see? It's just like, let the healer do it. Let the healer do it, because you're supposed to be here putting out damage. Do not leave the healer out here to put out damage. That's what's happening. And look at that guy fell back. He fell back. You're not... Yeah, you see what's going on here. I can critique this all day, but... it's a rough team, to put it that way. So basically, I guess if I could sum it up to you this way, let me do that. Is that actually in Legendary, the more aggressive you play, the better it is. So, and I don't mean you need to charge out there like Rambo, you know, double fisting, you know, saws and just go, blah, you know, running at fools like crazy, man. That's not what I mean, but I mean, like, you know, you need to push on them, right? And you need to constantly put out damage, because if you don't, then they're going to constantly put out damage on you. So you always need to have something putting out damage, whether it's your gun or your turret, but it needs to be constant. And you need to be moving, and you need to be pushing forward, and you need to know where to stand and what's your best cover. I mean, that's basically it. You know, even if you don't know your target priorities or anything like that, but if you keep dying because, you know, something's wrong. It might be your build, might be your location. Change it. But what up, Dutchy? Good to see you again, man. You drinking some hot chocolate? That sounds good. Sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, I hear you, Brass Bat. He says the healer is carrying them. Reminds me of the raiding days, yo. Hey, Jay Morris, did you see? So I think it was you, Jay Morris, where you asked me that question about steady hands and what talent that you thought would be good for that on the chest. I ended up doing a whole live stream on that a couple of days ago, the day after we had that conversation. So I think that was Wednesday. I did a whole live stream with the AKM and steady hands. And we had a whole live stream about it. I was hoping I would catch you that day, but I don't think you joined. But I was hoping that you saw that stream at least. But you inspired that stream with your question. And when we got off, I thought it was actually a really good subject. It's called the AKM versus steady hands versus solo legendary. Check that out, man. That stream's for you. You got your own special stream. Cool, cool. So hopefully that helped your question out. But in summary, in the end, I felt like the best build for the AKM was the Negotiators. But that's no surprise because the Negotiators fixes everything. Look at the guy in the crow's nest, dead again. And so I'm trying to go save him, but then this other guy, Timothy, goes back up there to get him again. It's like, dude, you're the DPS build. You know, I'm the healer. Let me pick him up. You know, you understand why, guys? Do you understand why? Does that make sense to you? Do you get why the healer should be the one picking up the guy that goes down? Because I'm not putting out any damage. I'm not supposed to be, but I'm shooting so much I ran out of ammo. So that's a sign for you right there. With whipped cream, just quit bragging, Dutchy. With whipped cream. Anybody else feel like Dutchy is bragging? Hey, y'all, if you got a Twitch account, you YouTubers, then it'd be really cool if you guys give me a quick follow on over at Twitch as well. I'm streaming on Twitch right now, too, so we are dual streaming at the moment. And, yeah, so that would be really cool, because we're trying to grow that. So I've been ignoring it for a while just because, I don't know, I guess I'm really focused on YouTube. But we need to start expanding into that audience and bringing them together with us to make these streams more inclusive. What's going on? What is everybody up to this weekend? Anything good? Y'all, everybody staying safe? Anybody sick out there with the vid, with the COVID? I got my booster the other day, last weekend, actually. That's why I didn't stream last weekend, because actually the booster got me sick. I was sick. It was nothing too bad. It was just felt like I had the flu for like 24 hours. But all good. But I didn't miss last weekend's stream because of that, so. But I'm into it. I'm excited. Also, if you guys got any topics that you want to talk about for the live streams, love to hear them. Appreciate you, Dutchy. Thanks for following me on Twitch. I know, finally the Tux has come back to live stream. Yep. And next week I got pretty good. Oh yeah, I'm checking out their builds. So I'm looking at their builds, and I realized oh, he's got all of this rolled into his oxidizer chem. That sucks. And then this guy was like, okay, he's got a skill build, but look at this one. This is the one I want to make you look at. Let me pause that. Okay. Not picking on Timido here, but can you tell me what's wrong with this build? Anybody? Baseball camp in Tennessee this weekend. All right. That sounds nice, man. It's the best thing I've heard out of anybody. Anybody got to beat? Can anybody beat Anthony in his baseball camp? Damn. I'm streaming. Big Murder Face, what up? Stream. He says, hi, stream from Big Murder Face. What up? So, like, take a look at this build, guys. Now, again, Timido, if you're listening to this, sorry, man, I'm not picking on you, but I do just want to mention some things here that are important because this is why the healer situation is hard at work here. So he's wearing Ridge Race Pride, probably, in my opinion, probably for the heals, right? But what he's noticed he's running Preservation on his gun. But this was the guy that was playing from all the way in the back at the entrance. Remember that. Look at the gun that he's using. It's the Vector. And look at the talent that he has on it. That's Preservation. So I think what's wrong here, I mean, and then he's running the Fenris holster, but he doesn't have an assault rifle equipped to his build. And then he's running the Striker set, but the backpack is the worst part of Striker. You do not run. You do not want to run the Striker backpack. It's the worst bet. So what he should have done here is run Striker holster and then put on a different backpack like Grupo, like a Grupo backpack, and then ran a better talent, whatever, Composure or whatever, right? But Wicked would have been the talent for his backpack. Grupo with Wicked, because he's running Ridge's Pride. And then he should have run Sadist on the SMG instead of Preservation. And then, but also notice that he's running the Technician. So although it looks like it's a DPS build because it's all red, it's absolutely not a DPS build. It's a hodgepodge build. Because he should be running Gunner for the ammo that he's dispensing because he's trying to snipe with his SMG, right? He's playing all the way in the back, and so he's using so much ammo because he's using Striker that he's likely having ammo issues. And then so he should be running Gunner, and also Gunner would give him 10% armor on kill. So he needs both of those things. But anyways, I'm not like being hard on Timido, but this is why we've had to reset 3 times, guys. 3 times, right? So I'm looking at their builds. I'm like, what's going on? Look at that. He's running Preservation on that, you know? And I'm like, why is he? And he's playing from so far away. And so I'm starting to look at these guys' builds. I'm like, what are they doing? First of all, I don't think SMGs are that great for Legendary in general, by the way. I hardly use them for Legendary. But if you are going to use them, you just got to be really aggressive. So he just swapped out his gun. He swapped out his Scorpio shotgun for his Mantis. So now he's actually sniping with a sniper rifle. Like, literally. He's using the Mantis on a Striker build. He's got no headshot damage on it whatsoever. So, anyways, I'm not being hard on him, but this is why we're struggling. Now I'm gonna start like see. I look at him again. I was like, is he sniping? So I go back and look at his build and see now you see he's changed it out for a sniper, but he's still got the same setup. So I was like thinking maybe he changed a piece or two, but I was like, no, he's sniping with the Striker build. But and then the other guy's running the Oxidizer, and that's just not helping us at all. You know, the Oxidizer is. I mean, he rolled everything into the Oxidizer, so he's also got the, I know some people like the Oxidizer. It can be helpful, you know, it can be DPS assistance, but we got no DPS on the team, right? So that's why it's not helpful, because the other 2 guys aren't really doing crap. So that's why the Oxidizer is like, oh, it's just kind of lame. It's just kind of like, do you understand why? Because what ends up happening is that you damage the enemy with your Oxidizer, but then he goes and runs back to his healing station and it re-heals. And so the damage over time that the Oxidizer is doing isn't strong enough, you know, because they'll just avoid it. They just avoid the puddle. So you need to kill them. You need to kill it. It needs to hurt, you know? So, anyways. So we've been here before. We've been here before. But, yeah, it's a good test for the healer build. For sure. But, and we got that special ammo, so keep your eye on that. Fenders with the SMG. Yep, that's right, Anthony. You got it. You saw it. Wick the Swede on Twitch, too. Jay Morris got a question for us. Do you think the future gears that can be made into an efficient self-heal PvP build? PvP is the question. That makes it definitely into a PvE, of course. Let me see what happens on the PvP side of things. So nothing really changes for PvP. Let me see what this chest does in PvP. Yeah, I mean, nothing changes in PvP. It stays the same. I don't know. I mean, I think if you're playing at range, then yes. But at what cost? At what cost? You know, what are you losing in damage? I think you'd be better. I mean, actually, that's a really good question because I actually have been saving a future build. I mean, future pieces with crits on them. Like I have one here, right here. So keeping the skill tier, but then run crit chance everywhere. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're better off without future because when you run 4 pieces, I mean, you're getting 15% more skill damage. You can bump that and well, you can bump that up to 25% with the chest piece. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough question. We'd have to go in there and run it. But I have a feeling the answer would be no, you know? I just think you'd be losing too much damage. That would be important. But healers are obviously great in the Dark Zone. I mean, I think I've seen some of the best teams use a healer on their squad. And he keeps everybody up. So check this out. So this guy, he basically, I think he bails on his. Or maybe it's a little bit later he bails on this, and I was just like, what? Book Nazda, you like the music, bro? Yeah. So if you're in the players club on the hardcore banditos, then you get access to this. So that you can stream it. I make gamer music for the hardcores. So let's see what we got. We got Sensei Thrill. Look at that, level 22. What do you guys think about that? So I'm trying to matchmake so I can show this gameplay, how this healer build works in real time. And so I just ran a matchmake to this fella here. Level 22, doing Roosevelt Island, leading legendary. That's kind of interesting, huh? And so he's running a Hunter's Fury build, a hodgepodge build, basically. So he doesn't need more armor on kill. He's using the wrong talent. Yeah, so this would be painful. We probably don't want to do this. Sorry, Sensei Hill. I appreciate you, man. But the cab can't, Tux can't fuck with that. Actually, I'm not usually that picky, but that would be really rough. I looked at that build, and so I was just like, oh, that'd be tough. I'm not that picky of builds, guys. I'm really not. I'm really not. But let's be reasonable, okay, on me. You know what I mean? You can't be doing that. There's some basic fundamentals. No, and I realize not everybody knows that, but they're still learning. So I'm not being hard on him, but he hasn't learned what I need him to learn yet. Okay, so I'm matchmaking here, so let's go back to the gameplay footage. I'll let you know when I catch something good. But that's funny, man. That's funny. That's a funny build. That was another example of like, oof, it'd be a rough battle. That's right, I'm not a partner or an affiliate yet. No. We just getting this channel rolling. We will be by next week, but I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you looking out for the subs. But yeah, we just started streaming to Twitch, even though we've had our Twitch open for a long time. But yesterday or the day before was our first stream to Twitch. So based on the affiliate stuff, it looks like we'll have our sub button sometime next week. I need to stream on 7 different days to Twitch. So basically it takes a minimum of a week. So by next weekend, we should have that sub button. But I appreciate the follow at the very least. Shy, thanks, bro. Shy-Town. I'm gonna start calling you Shy-Town. You're now Shy-Town. I really do appreciate that, actually. For all of you guys, I try to get everybody's names right because I know I see you back. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, bro. I'm doing future comparisons with, I don't know if you caught that, Wick, but that's exactly what I'm doing. And now in my determination, the OG healer build is the stronger build, but they're not exactly apples to apples. They're not. But I want to put it in different situations. And the reason why is because Future Initiative is fixed with its talents, so I can't modify those. But those talents, instead of giving you stronger heals, it does gives your team more damage. Now I can match that with Empathetic Resolve, but here we go.
Civilians in distress.
Oops, give me a quick second though, all right? Sorry about that. I realized I had my surround sound still on. Okay, so this is live gameplay, guys. So let's see what we can do to help this team out. So it looks like they're at least better positioned. The sniper's playing a little deep. That's cool. He's a sniper at least, so that makes sense. Chunga time, alright. So that guy's putting the White Death in the back. I can tell by the sound of that fire. He's out of my heels, so I'm gonna have to hit him. So I'm hitting him with my chem, so plenty strong so that we can heal these guys through this. I like to keep the guys standing in a puddle of heals, you know what I'm saying? You might as well use your chems, you know what I'm saying? You might as well use them. And if they play right, then they should know that they can. I mean, the sniper's a little bit different because they can take you out with one shot even if you are standing in heals, but We need to get rid of that. There we go. Who's down? There we go. All right, somebody else looks like they got BTSU gloves too, because I just got an overcharge. So yeah, here's another quick look at the build, everybody. So what is unique is I do got the chill out mask here. I am running kinetic momentum for double strong heals, right? That's 30% more heals. And then I got safeguard on the backpack. So it is important that I stay nice and healthy so my team is getting more heals. And then these are improvised pieces, if you didn't see this earlier. So improvise. So shit ton of heals, all right? The base is at 1.65, and then we're getting 160% on top of that. That's insane. I laugh because it's insane. So let's see what kind of builds we're up against here. Not that I'm a build Nazi, but yeah, okay, good DPS build. Good enough. Let's see. Jesus saves. All right, hardwired. Skill build thingy. Okay. I didn't look at the third one, but we will later. So what I'm going to do is throw my... and go to overcharge. Oh, I forgot he already hit the overcharge, so it doesn't matter. I don't like... so that's the thing. If you got double BTS goods, then keep in mind that you gotta save your overcharge situation. Basically get them in sync. All right, now I got an overcharge. There we go. This is a better team than before. They're not as clumsy, but also that we don't have that stupid special ammo on. That's a mistake. I'm brand new. Let's put on special ammo on legendary. Yes, please. Oxidation is back. Bringing it back. Bringing the purple back. Da-na-na-na. Bringing the purple back. Hey, turn up the music while we're gaming, fools. It's Friday night. Let's keep it hot. Look at that heal. Do you see that one tick? And our Turcurus? Let's see what he's got going on. Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember what he was. You see how easy it was for me to proc reformation? Super easy. That little bitch. Look at him hiding back there. So let's see what that other guy's build is while we're waiting for him to die. Oh, another future initiative build? What the heck? What has he got? He's running a skill damage though, huh? Yeah, he's got a skill damage future build. That's a thing, by the way. That's an actual thing. I didn't forget to know that. Not my favorite way to run it, but you can do it that way. See that grenade? That's why I love that. Oh, I don't have any special ammo, otherwise I'd pop them. Gonna break my hive. Overcharge. See that? Overcharge is key. Timing on your overcharge is really key. And we just smash those fools. Look at that. Smash them. Hardly anybody left. All right. So let's see what Arturius, he's running the Bullet King, all red. So yeah, DPS Bullet King, Overwatch. So he's buffing the team. That's a nice little team buff right there. Good job, man. Unstoppable Force. Not a big fan of Unstoppable Force, but I like that. He's running perfect Overwatch. That's nice. He doesn't need the perfect version though, but because he's not using an assault rifle. And the perfect version only saves you 2 seconds is all it does. You know, instead of being a cover for... Got your back, homie. Got your back. Where's my... You're at work right now, AP? Damn, brother. All right, though, man. Keep it real. Earn that money. Bring home the bacon. AP, what platform are you on? I'm sure you told me. I just forgot. So you know what? I'm gonna switch to Future Initiative now, because then we're gonna get the double buff from that chest piece. So I'm gonna buff these teams' damage because they got a lot of damage. And now I'm gonna give them another 25%. So you can still do that with the OG build. You just, you know, have to have a chest piece with empathetic resolve, and I just don't have that chest piece. 3:30 to midnight. Woo! I think Ranger Co's changing his build. What do you guys think? Yep, he was going to Hasbro. I mean, to Eclipse. That's better. I like that. Makes a better squad. So I like giving the tip of the spear that squirt because they tend to take damage right away. So I try to get that squirt out as fast as possible. Haha. Well, I'm glad I'm keeping you entertained while you're at work, man. Even in the night shift, huh? You have a hard time staying awake? Am I helping at least a little bit? Cats meow. Good evening. Going on overcharge. Squirt everybody. And see the duration, the duration is making that cloud hang out there a long time. That's what we like. See how easy it is to proc reformation with the shotgun? Really easy. And of course it's the Super 90, which we love, right, gents? Ladies and gents, we love the Super 90. It's the killer. But again, like this one doesn't have brace, but notice the recoil, you know, it's just got a nice tight little shooting pattern there. What up, Zero? Thank you for the friend. Addition. All right, he's in the dancing mood. Let's give him a little mime action. Hello. Pull out a little swap chain. See that one guy took all of my charges for some reason? Isn't that weird that it does that? Some sort of weird little glitch. Do you notice that? Took my whole hive. That one guy took my whole hive. David Rowe! Hey, if you guys got any challenge builds or challenge ideas, or you got any good topics you would like me to bring up for live streams, like an actual live stream topic, to let me know. Love your guys' ideas. They come in handy a lot. Live streams create more live streams, I find. Because we'll be talking about something and I'll go after the live stream, I'll think about it and be like, you know what, that's a good subject. I think we need to talk more about it.
An agent needs assistance.
I'm getting bombarded here. Oh, shit. Fucking fire coming.
Detected.
Yeah.
Agent out of action.
Because this guy was doing something, but he didn't have the skills out. Nobody's skills are out. You need those skills. Those skills are important for legendary guys. Because those turrets, they take aggro for you. You need something to take that aggro, you know what I mean? You know, bust my hive, give that, and that also allows me to put something on overcharge, you know what I mean? There we go. Now we're in a rhythm. It's alright to make mistakes. I'm not saying you can't. It's okay to die. Don't be afraid to die, yo. Yeah, your secret mines would be good here. Secret mines are really good against the, I know why you like them. They're good against the drone operators. Great against the drone operators. Hunts them down, throws them off balance. There's a sniper back there. You gotta watch that sniper in the back. In this part, that's the only real threat in this room, is that sniper. I hear a mantis. One of these guys switched to the mantis. Yep, I see it. Changing their builds on us. It's a good idea, by the way. So you went with the pestilence, and then he switched to this build. What is it? Skill damage, hardwired build, and then this guy switched to the mantis. DPS switched to the mantis. That's who did that. Okay. you go. Let them do all the hard work. You know what I mean? You just keep them alive. Don't get in the way. I guess is my advice. Do not get in the way. As a healer, job is to keep fools alive. Don't try to be Mr. DPS because you don't have it like they do. Yeah, that's a good build, AG. I run Brace. AG saying on YouTube that he runs Brace, Petrov, Chess with True Patriot, 4 pieces, and Pestilence. Thanks, David Rowe. Appreciate the thumbs up. 1 in the 100s. A semi-automatic rifle build. You know which one I have? It's called the Rembrandt. That's the one that I call the Rembrandt. Check that one. It uses the artist tool. Have you used the artist tool? That's a lot of fun. I like it. It actually works really well against like the hunters, any guys who are going for headshots who tend to play a range. So good for legendary. Where's he going? He's running to his mom. He's like, Mama, Mama, Mama. Mama ain't here. Mama ain't here. So this room, like, I always find, like, your biggest threats are actually the grenadiers, as usual. But then the second wave, the grenadiers come. But then when the Chunga comes, I'm going to be able to hit him with my special ammo, so I'm happy about that. So here's the grenadiers. So I'm gonna have to protect my team. Give them an extra squirt so they can recover from those grenades. See how the heals are holding up good here? Way better than the last team. It's like a night and day, guys. I mean, look at my heal. Look at my hive here. It's hardly being used. Yeah, I can't.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I couldn't move basically. But I came over here to get that guy, and then I was like, couldn't stand in cover. So you want to use another good reason why you use this build is because you can break his armor with that arrow. That was a little more painful than it needed to be, I think, than it usually is. I think it's because we got a sniper in here, and it's not really a good room for sniping. There you go. Not really a good room for sniping. I mean, it can be if you're really proficient with it, but be sure to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done that. It's mandatory. It is mandatory. It is. You are required if you want to watch my streams. So you got to hit the like button. That was a sinister laugh, just in case you're wondering. We lost somebody in the back. Must have been the sniper. Come El Chunga Locos. So I don't know if you guys know, but back here, this metal box, it's actually impenetrable to the stingers. Yeah, so the stingers can't go through this metal box here. So it's a great piece of cover back here. And then, of course, this arrow breaks their armor, so it's really nice to use this. Helps you kill them a lot faster. You see that? One for each of you fat boys. There you go. And so once you break their armor, they go down a lot faster. So the healers can be really helpful if you use all the tools that you have in your bag, yo. Use them all. You know, don't just sit there and heal. You know, so I'm using reformation to make my heal stronger. Whip out your fire grenades, right? The fire grenades are great. That's why I really like this the survivalist specialization, because those fire grenades are badass. You do run out, so you do gotta use them smartly, but and then the crossbow to break their armor is amazing, right? It's not like gunner. Like, I hardly use the minigun. It's not that useful. Because you got to get out of cover to use it. That chicken shit, come on. I don't want to run in front of that sniper. Block his shot. That's proc reformation there. So you can also heal the turret with your gun, so remember that. With your chem gun, I meant, like your chem launcher. So if you see a turret, you know, going down, taking too much damage, then you can use your chems to heal it real quick. You know, you gotta use your chems. Don't let them just sit there in age, you know what I mean? You gotta spend them even if you don't think you can use it. You know, throw them out there just because otherwise they go to waste, right? Because, you know, they're consumable skills. So if you're not consuming them, then they literally go to waste. So that guy's being a pain, huh? I was gonna flank him, but they got him. Yeah, so I like running healer builds. You know, you're a busybody. You still having a lot of fun, you know what I mean? It's just different. It's different. Job, keep the homies alive. I mean, when a team knows how to play with healers too, then they play more aggressive, which they should. Shoot more, knowing that you got somebody watching your back. Dutch URL says, Tux, what 4 builds would be perfect to run together in Legendary? Huh. Really good question, man. Because it's so, I mean, it's a good question. It's actually hard for me to answer because there's so many configurations, right? There's so many. I mean, one of the sort of answers it, but one of the ones that let me go to overcharge here real quick. There you go. One of the builds that I like is setup that I like is actually where you go a double out of cover legendary solo builds, like Slaughter and Game Over together, is a really good, like just that too, nobody else. You know, like completing legendary duo. Obviously, you can add more people to that. So you can add a healer to that. You can add a DPS to that. But just that setup is nice. That was actually efficient. So I think it was clutch that we went into overcharge right there. But That's fun. That's different. But it's because both complement each other in a sense where you can get out of cover. You do compete a little bit for your memento trophies, you know, the slaughter and game over builds. They're both hybrid skill damage builds, but I think turrets are really important for legendary missions. The fact that they take the aggro means you're taking less drones, you're taking less grenades, and all that other junkety junk. So, but you know, I don't normally run healers a bit. I don't mind being a healer, but I don't need a healer when I do legendary. Like, it's nice. I'd rather have bonus armor than heals, to be honest with you. Because my builds usually have their own level of survivability with them, so. Start leaving a trail of cams for them to run into. You notice that? So nice little trick in case you need it. But geez, I'm having a hard time answering that because there's just so many configurations. Definitely no tanks. I don't like. I'm gonna start off by telling you what I don't like. I don't like tanks. I also don't like artillery turrets.
An agent needing assistance.
I don't like artillery turrets. The reason why I don't like artillery turrets, damn, dude, they're getting hammered, yo. They're getting hammered. Somebody fucking take him out. Jesus Christ. He beat the shit out of them, guys. Wow, I couldn't believe how bad they just got beat by that one grenader. I don't like the mortar turret, is what I was gonna say too. And that's because I think one of the best setups is like a sniper with riot foam. Like if you put Eclipse protocol up with like riot foam, I think that's really good. Let me concentrate on this for a second. This is getting intense. I think this guy uses overcharge too soon. He uses overcharge before he used up our overcharge before the Chungus came up. But yeah, so I like when you run Eclipse protocol with like a really efficient sniper, and for me that's like a Mantis build, but it could also be a Nemesis build if that's you. But so that's a lot of fun. I like running sniper builds and legendary missions. It's actually really efficient. Really efficient. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I have to pull out my other gun. That one. A little unwavering beast. But yeah, 4-piece striker is good. Oh, Negotiator's Dilemma, no doubt. I don't know why I didn't think of that one. Actually, probably Negotiator's Dilemma. Like 2 Negotiator's Dilemmas would actually be fucking badass. Reality. Yeah, so I guess I'd probably do like one Negotiator's Dilemma just to keep it well-rounded. Like if we just use that as the base concept. I guess in order to narrow it down, we need some sort of like concept to wrap our heads around. So I would say like, you know, a well-rounded 4-man build. So I would build loadout situation. So I would say like 1 Eclipse protocol, 1 Negotiator's Dilemma for sure. That combo right there would be insane. Eclipse with Negotiator's Dilemma would be insane. Do you see why? Because see what Negotiators needs to do is it needs to tag people, right? and negotiators needs to tag people, which is great, and it does a great job of doing that. But if they're standing still, it's even easier, right? So if you did a negotiator's dilemma with an Eclipse build, a negotiator's assault rifle Eclipse build, that would be badass. See how I knew that Mr. Ranger is gonna take heat right away? That guy always happens every time, yo. Every time. The guy that goes out there to throw out his turret is always the one that goes down. He's always the one. He's always the one. So you're backup DPS, remember that. So I'm gonna get out of the way a little bit. So I'm not taking up the, where's my chem? Come on.
Agent down.
See, so part of the problem here is like you don't want to do this splitting up thing. See how our Arcturus is out there, he's splitting up, he's putting the whole team in danger. Cause see, I'm having to keep track of him to keep him alive. And he's barely staying alive. Barely staying alive back there. Instead of sticking with the team, and also we could have used his DPS in here instead of out there chasing some random dude. You know what I mean? So stick with your team and Legendary. I think that's the most important thing in Legendary is actually playing as a squad, stay together, stick together. Within arm's reach, that is. But when there's one guy that kind of wanders off, whatever. So yeah, so coming up with the dream team, Negotiator's Dilemma, and then Negotiator's Dilemma, Eclipse Protocol, and then I think for the other one, I would probably run like a high-powered all-in Pestilence build, right? To spread that plague. But I wouldn't want that to be the Eclipse guy. I would want that to be two separate guys, you know? So you have your Eclipse guy doing his thing, the Pestilence guy doing his thing, and then Negotiator's guy doing his thing. So that experienced guy, see where this guy is up there? That's a bad spot to be. He's gonna take heat the whole time, watch. Where our Arcturus is, he's gonna take heat the whole time up there, watch, see? The whole time. The crow's nests are traps, they're traps, and the heals don't go up there. And so the fact that he doesn't get down is frustrating for the rest of the team. Because he's gonna be using up more heals. I'm gonna have to protect him, only him. See, look, he's down again. See what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna have to like single-handedly use all my chems just on him. See that? Look, he's down again. And now he's officially down. So that was his mistake, guys. He should have dropped down way earlier. I mean, come on. How many times does your armor have to break before you realize you're in a bad fucking spot? Look at it. He went right back up there. I'm the only one. I'm single-handedly keeping him alive. There we go. Welcome to the game. So then now we got that fourth spot. I probably would put a healer in that fourth spot, maybe, and then let everybody else go all red. I got you, homie. Give me a second. So, see how my heals are going all into that turret? That turret is stealing all my hive. That's frustrating. That's the thing about running a healer build with a team full of skills. You gotta look out for that. And so that's why it's not a good idea to always have your hive down on the ground. Move it out of the range of those skills. Skills only got a 20-second cooldown. They don't need your heals. So if they break, 20 seconds is not a long time. Wish I had more special ammo. I like launching my arrows.
An agent needs assistance.
Oh, he's getting up. All right. Ooh, that is not a good spot for that guy. He's getting licked. Oh, our tourist went back up to his nest. I better go babysit. Let's see how many times I gotta chem him again. There we go. I'm sorry, it's just like, you know, it's lunacy to go back up there after all of that. I mean, he died in like 1 second. It's just like he's not learning his lesson. It's a bad spot. Come on, dude. Finally got me. You have to go up there apparently. See, now he's putting the whole team at risk. Oh, but I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh just because it's just kind of like, you know. He stayed up there too. Look at him. He stayed up there. Look at, I just cammed him. He would be dead without those cams. Woo. I'm literally having to babysit him. That's so funny. Yeah, but so I think, you know, in that scenario, a healer for that last person, because you'd have so much damage on the field there, that a healer would be a nice addition to that. Or a tank, actually. A tank to literally, if it was a good tank, like somebody who actually did their job, which is to like take aggro. Like get out there with your bulwark shield and make sure everybody's shooting at you. Be a bullet sponge. This Arcturus guy is hilarious, man. He's level 3000. He should know better. He should know better to be up there and in the. I killed that grenadier. Hopefully that helps him stay alive. Either one skill or one CC. Sometimes NPCs can get out of a hand and push like crazy. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, CC build. I mean, I like the max blind type build. So, you know, I said Eclipse. You could go max blind for crowd control too. Either way is cool. Where is my hive? It's over there. Yeah, good point, Eclipse. Excuse me. All right, let's see here. So J-Zub says 4-piece feature initiative with chest, of course, helps backpack. That's exactly what we have. With opportunistic, BTSU gloves, use Scorpio shotgun, best healing build. You are a healer with a team that's buffing the damage of Hive Camp. Yeah, that's another way to go. That's basically what we're running here. Except I'm running Safeguard because it gives you 100% more skill, heals. But I'm running Reformation for 30% more skill repair. You can do the whole buffing thing too. That starts to lean towards actually the Wingman build that we did this morning. Except when I do that, I usually end up going even more into the Wingman scenario. You know what I mean? But because although we're playing Legendary, the reality is that I'm actually running. The idea is here is that this is like to come up with the strongest healer build. And the strongest healer build, you wouldn't be running the Scorpio. The strongest healer build, you wouldn't be running opportunistic. When you got 8 guys to heal, you need to think about heal, repair, and duration and skill haste. You need to go min-max that bad boy, to be honest with you. Like, no, that's not a bad build. That's an awesome build that you suggested. I 100% agree with this setup. Not saying that. I'm just saying, like, the intentions of my setup here is that you could carry a team of 8 in a raid. That's the point of this. And you need all those heals because, like, for example, if you're on boss 4 and you got 2 tanks to heal, you know, those 2 tanks aren't going to give a crap about any amplified damage. They're not. But the build is sound, what you're talking about. Great build. Great build. I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, this one is more about strongest heals. OG healer or future initiative. And my conclusion is the OG healer. It is definitely the stronger heals in the game. But it still begs the difference. Do you need that much heals? And that's what we were talking about this morning. Do you need that much heals? Even in an 8-man squad, is it still too much for an 8-man squad? Maybe. You know what I mean? If you got a good team, then that might be too much heals for an 8-man squad, the OG healer build. And I'll show it again as soon as we get to this section. So I got shock rounds there. So I saved my shock rounds for these assholes. What's up, suckers? And then I'm gonna break their armor. If I can get to that guy in the back there, I'm gonna get to his armor. Oh, I missed him! He's dying anyways. There we go. So this team's got the DPS to make for everything to make sense what we're doing here. Sometimes when your team doesn't have the DPS, you might as well get rid of the healer build and slap on a DPS build and go with it. There's no buffs in the world that can carry a team sometimes. Yeah, he was over 3,000 and he was up there. I mean, how many times did I have to save his ass? He never climbed down. I mean, he came down once for a second and then he went back up there. That's kind of like, come on, dude, really? So this is the build we got going on now, but now I'm going to switch it to the old school healer. There we go. And this is the stronger heal build. It's putting out more heals overall, flat out. Yeah, where it doesn't mishmash the concept by bringing in like some of the damage support as well. But not saying the damage support is bad. The damage support is excellent. The question is, do you need? The question does come back to the OG. Okay, so we've determined the OG healer build is better, but do we need that many heals? Do we need this many heals? I mean, in a good team situation, there's Arcturus up there. Okay, so see where Arcturus and Ranger are? Bad location, guys. Look at that. They're getting hit by grenades up there. Crow's nests. I mean, these are. See, like he's down again. Like, you don't go up there. I mean, not until your grenaders are down, at least, you know. And then you can. See, they're out of range of my heals up there too. So now I have to get these guys up. But yeah, this is a bad position. I don't know why people come up here. It's just a bad spot. You always die. It's your target and you're a sitting duck.
Serious trauma detected.
Oh, just took out the healer with the Widowmaker. I'm down too.
Agent killed.
It's a fucked up little setup they got going on here. Two guys upstairs. I'm having to run around to try to heal them. Don't let the Tux die. Casimil saying still would have secret mines. I agree with you. Right now, I would love your secret mines on board.
On the mark. Immediate medical assistance needed.
He needs some secret mines, secret mines. Got a man down. Where is he? Way over there on his own. Oh, see, that's another thing. That's see him way out there. Stick with your team. Stick with your team. See, I mean, you're making it harder for your healer. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like I'm having to keep an eye on you, and you're an island. Look at him out there. So you're a floating island. It'd be easier if we were a tight knit squad. You know what I mean?
Vital signs critical.
Look at him down again. Gonna have to squirt him again.
An agent needs assistance.
And now we're falling back apparently. Gotta go get this guy.
Agent down.
See, like, what are these other guys doing? Oh god, not watching my back apparently.
Agent incapacitated. Agent deceased.
I'm gonna leave.
You have.
I don't know what the guys are doing. They're all doing their own little thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody went separate ways, so I don't need to finish that. They can finish it. But yeah, so they you know, interesting, you know, concepts when it comes to healer builds. But so you know, I think when it comes to like raids and stuff like that, I feel like, you know, a big part of it is yeah, I hear you, Eclipse. It says Eclipse says I wouldn't heal him if he wants to be a hero. Let him try. But then it comes back to you where it's just like, well, you're not. You know, you could also turn the argument around, which is why I try to heal him. Which is just like, hey, well, you're a healer, so we can be more aggressive. And it's sort of like, yeah, but you still gotta stick to the team. I mean, you're making it harder for me to heal you. Not that I'm not willing to work hard, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying what he was doing is wrong. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, you should not go Han Solo like that. Because when he dies, I mean, somebody's got to go way over there to pick you up. And then you're further dismantling the team by doing that. But when you die and you're right next to me, then that's okay. Because I just have to turn around and pick you up. I don't have to go run into the line of fire. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's totally right, Book Nasty. You have to be on point to, you know, follow around the lone wolf who's using all your chems, and then, but your little healing zone is here. I mean, I mean, I think like to be an effective healer, the reality is that, you should be leading the pack in a way, not in the sense of like you're the tip of the spear. That's not what I mean, but I mean like you should know as a healer where the best fighting zones are, and you should be leading the pack by throwing your hive in those fighting zones and telling the other team to stick in the zone, stay in the zone. Zero Regrets says Confucius say can't heal stupid. Nope, there's no remedy for stupid. Stay in the green, you'll stay alive. But yeah, but it's still a really fun build. This is just another way to do it. But if you don't have, I guess what's important about this build is that if you don't have the future initiative chess piece, I feel like if you're gonna run a future initiative build, the chess piece is imperative, right? Because if you don't have the chess piece, then that means you're gonna have to run 4 pieces of future initiative on your mask, gloves, knees, and holster. and then you're not able to use the BTSU gloves, and that is vital. That is best in slot for a healer build, those BTSU gloves. Unless you're running like a heroic, you know, not so urgent healer build, you know what I mean? But you need that, especially for raids. You need to refresh those hives. And so, but also in legendary content, you need to put everything in overcharge. So that's really important that you have the BTSU gloves. That's part of being a healer. It's very essential. So if you don't have the future initiative chest piece, then don't run a future initiative healer build, because you're not going to be able to run the BTSUs. Instead, run a build like this, and it doesn't have to be exactly like this. Okay, so you can run Hannah U down here instead of running improvised pieces. What else would you run? So you got Murakami. You could run Alps. I got the chill out mask. I feel like this goes good here. You got the BTSU gloves. Those are definitely going to be. And then you got one piece of Hannah U. What would you put in this other slot if you weren't going to run improvised? A second piece of Murakami. That's what you would do. That's right. Boom, right there. So you would run a second piece of Murakami for 20% more repair skills. That's what it is. And then what we would do would be recal that holster. So it would look like this, right? And then you take this and you jump it to skill haste. So if you didn't want to have improvised, the only thing you would need to change from this build is put Hannah U on your knees. This is basically a Hannah U piece. Well, it's actually more of a Alp Summit piece because I'm running double repair skills. But you'd run Hannah U on your knees, and then you run 2 pieces of Murakami, so you get skill duration and repair skills. Skill duration is important for healer builds because it makes that chem last longer, as well as the hive last longer when you drop it. So yeah, so that gives you a big buff of repair skills, so that's nice. It's basically what we were running. It's equivalent to this is equivalent to the improvised. It's exactly the same thing. 40% repair skills. So yeah, so this is your new OG healer build. So yeah, if you don't have the future chest, this is what I invite you to do. Now, and then there's the whole other setups like Homie was bringing up before. I can't remember who was mentioning it, but about his setup where he used J-Dub, I think it was. Yeah, J-Dubs. And then there's those setups like J-Dub was mentioning, which are great setups. It's different. And in my opinion, they're actually more useful. So this is if you want a really strong healer build and you want to be true to a healer, then you go this route, okay? If you want to say, I'm a healer, that's my job, I'm going to heal, then this is your healer build if you don't have the future initiative chest piece, okay? Now, if you're going into raids, then you probably want to go with the future build, the future initiative build. And the reason why is because you're going to come across comfort level. So even though this is the better healer build, people are just used to that build being sort of the standard. And so you're going to run into confrontation when you say, but this one heals stronger because look, and be like, yeah, I don't care. I have a hard time, accepting new things. Right. So, and plus, if they decide that the additional damage output is what they need, then that's also why you want the future build, which is a good reason. That's a good reason to go future. So the point is, if you don't have a future build, then go with this one. All right. So, and then you got the future. So let me switch to that just so you see it real quick. And then we'll move on to greener pastures. So this is the future setup. Again, this is sort of just the way you run future. You got a safeguard on your backpack. Now this is the raid style. Again, if you want to add amplified damage, then you can run opportunistic. And then you can stick to, you can still stay with the Marine Super 90 and have reformation as well, instead of going to Scorpio and shocking people. The Scorpio is good because you give them that 20% damage if you're able to land 7 stacks. The thing is that is sort of situational. I mean, when you have a squad of 7 additional players in the raid, they should be able to take down a target without you applying that 20% additional damage. Unless it's a boss. So, very situational that you're using that. So yeah, anyways, basically the same backpack, except now it's Alps instead of Murakami. And then the future chest piece. And then everything's got repair skills. And you could also go some more skill haste on here if you need it. But it doesn't heal as strong, okay? It's not gonna heal as strong, but instead what you're getting is this passive healing from ground control, which can be a little helpful, especially if you have 8 people on your team. But you're also getting that 25% additional damage from skills and weapons, and that's helpful for an 8-man team. And you know, just multiply that by 8 guys, right? And that's a lot of additional damage out there. Good night, Cat's Meow. Good seeing you. Yeah, no teamwork. Yeah, that was sad, but that's okay. I don't need to finish that legendary. I've done a bazillion of them, so. Greedo shot first. So yeah, so tomorrow, guys, we're gonna be doing another live stream. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Should be a good one. If you guys got any topics, just let me know in the chat or comments after this live stream. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like, and follow me on Twitch if you're not doing that yet. And consider joining the Players Club. There's perks. Also, remember, we got that new hot Red Foundry build. That's a really good one. I hope you guys give that a try. That's the latest classified build I dropped on Tuesday. And also, again, I want to keep reminding you hardcore banditos that you just got your latest release for your digital download and stream video music gamer music playlist that just dropped this morning. So cool, yo. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the big stream, the big Saturday night stream. AP, have a good night. Good luck at work, bro. Don't fall asleep. Peace, everybody.
Tuxedo out.